This is Another Man's Nostalgia with John.
Yeah,
I actually recorded some of the things that I liked because I was
Man,
I was
John is gung-ho.
because I said it. Yes.
4:30 p.m. I laughed at another Ryan Reynolds joke. I love this show so much.
Yeah, that's fine.
P.S. I'm really happy right now.
Chris
Thank you for the 2 points, you jerks.
Wow.
and Justin.
Justin, I don't think your mic's on, dude.
It's on.
So either flip your mic around.
That's how I have my
Turn it-
mic all the time. The same way it is every time.
I have not changed it.
Oh, look at
Oh,
that.
you sound a lot better.
You sound so much better.
It was the same way it is all the time.
So if you hear Justin sounds a lot better now, that's because he adjusted his mic.
The episode starts now.
Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Chris with Another Man's Nostalgia, and we revisit everybody's favorite shows, movies, and games from the mid-90s to the mid-2000s. And this week, we're actually doing something a little different. We're actually going to review a game. Usually review games a little bit as bonus features, but we're actually going to go back and review games because we have kind of a special episode planned that we're going to get into a little bit later. But it's pretty cool, so stick around if you ever played this game or have an idea what this game is, because we have some pretty cool stuff coming up.
Yeah, you'll notice we're missing a pod boy today.
We're missing one of the pod boys for the Z, of course.
Yeah, so John,
John is... What's he doing today, Justin?
John's getting his ass acne checked out. It's really bad. He's trying to get it fixed.
Well, you should have...
But in all seriousness,
everybody.
he's fine. He's not
No.
corona or anything.
No.
But it's just us this week.
Yeah.
But
He has a warranted reason for not being here, and so me and Justin are not going to talk about Survivor like we said last week. We're going to talk about something different, and we'll get into that. But want to do some nostalgia news first, Justin?
yeah, so even though it's a little different episode, we still got some news.
Yeah.
So this is actually sent to me by Chris.
Yes.
So in Amazing Spider-Man 2, Jamie Foxx played Electro.
Yeah.
I quite liked the character. I didn't like the movie. I actually liked all the villains in those movies, but as I said, I hated the way they did Peter Parker. It was pretty bad. But ever since they brought in J. Jonah Jameson into Homecoming, spoilers, if you haven't seen that movie for whatever reason, brought him back, they kind of opened up the wormhole of bringing back old actors, and they're bringing back Jamie Foxx as Electro in the third Spider-Man movie.
Very interesting. Also, very bold. They're going to pick maybe the worst. I'm not going to say that. I agree with you. I think he's a good villain. I don't know if he's any worse than any other villains, so he might be close to the worst, other than maybe the Lizard. But the fact they're bringing back one of the worst villains in one of the worst movies, I think is saying something. I mean, I think they must have a plan of how to make him a good character.
Yeah, because Jamie Foxx is a really good actor. That movie was obviously taken down by horrific writing. And if Marvel is writing it, which they are, I'm assuming, even though it's Sony's deal, it's going to be great. And they've opened up the wormhole with the whole different dimensions and Doctor Strange, and I'm sure we're going to learn more about that in WandaVision. But I'm pretty excited for that. The only bad villain they had was Harry, the green whatever fuck he was in that movie. They did Harry Osborn bad in both franchises.
It wasn't
he was screwed over so bad. So I'm hoping at some point he won't get the short end of the stick. But
yeah, because Dane DeHaan is a great actor. The guy who played Harry Osborn is a great. Yeah,
like I said, for those movies, it wasn't necessarily actors or actresses that I had issues with. It was the writing and the story that was just shitty. But I'm really excited to see where they take it. I trust Marvel when it comes to that stuff. I think they'll do a good job. And obviously Mysterio is going to come back in some way.
I mean, he could easily open up illusion of a portal and have Electro come back.
Oh, yeah. So I'm pretty stoked.
Justin, I thought of a good joke that I want to tell you because I thought of it as soon as I read that.
Okay.
You want to hear it? Okay. So I hope they fix Electro like the eels fix Electro's teeth.
All right.
In that one scene, you ever had a gap for a
Yeah.
while? Yeah, it's pretty good,
All
right?
right. I guess.
All right, sure.
All right.
All right. Thank you for indulging me. Do you have any other nostalgia news?
No, not off the top of my head there. Super Mario 35 came out this week.
I'm really excited.
I need to
about
play it. I'm still working through Sunshine right now. It's very slow going, so I don't have much time, but I'm really liking Sunshine. I'm really excited to play 64. That's not, terribly emulated. Because I'm really liking the way Sunshine was emulated. I think I talked about this last week, how I'm really bad at aiming, going up and down with the whatever you call it, the what's it called? The water cannon?
It's supposed to be like inverted. Is that what you're talking about? But the fact that it's not,
I don't know, but I still like it.
It's great.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited.
I was never a Sunshine fan either, and so this is my first time really going through. I think I'm 40 stars in. And I'm really enjoying it.
Oh, I got like 6.
Okay. Well,
like I said, I'm slow going. These are not my type of games at all.
Yeah.
I'm a sport.
Yeah, you're not as much. You're not as a platformer.
I'm a sports RPG guy, action adventure, not as much of a platformer. But I really like the games, even though I'm very slow.
Hey, you know what? You get to enjoy it longer.
Sometimes I feel like an old man when I play those, because I'm like, okay, I'm trying to get up there. What's going on? But it's fun.
Right.
I think that's it. Let's go. You want to go ahead and get to what we're doing this week?
Yeah, sure. So this week, and it kind of goes into nostalgia news because a game came out that is tied to nostalgia. But this week, if you can't tell by my background, if you can see it because I don't know what I'm doing yet, Crash Bandicoot 4 comes out. It's called Crash Bandicoot 4. It's About Time. So we thought we'd take this week to kind of go back and review the original trilogy of Crash Bandicoot games, and I kind of have some history of what happened after the trilogy, because I feel like a lot of people don't know that, and why they all of a sudden went back to 4. But because Crash Bandicoot 4 comes out, we were privileged enough to get some free promos for this.
Yeah, so we were contacted, and we're not sponsored or anything, but they did give us some free game codes to give out. So if you have a PS4, we'll talk about at the end of the podcast today how you can enter and get a game code from us.
We have a couple game codes, and we're going to give them out randomly. So if you want the game code, contact us by email. And if you're a lucky winner, you can easily get this game for free, $40 value, and you get the whole game for free. But stick tuned to the end. We'll tell you how to do that.
Yeah, so I was pretty excited when we got this. So like I said, we're not sponsored. They just gave us some codes to give out as promotion. So and they didn't ask us to do a whole episode like this. We thought we might as well talk about it since we got it. Makes a lot of sense. Maybe they'll.
It's such a '90s game that I feel like it fits perfectly for.
Then maybe they'll give us more money.
Maybe they will.
Maybe they'll pay us next time.
The amount paid. Yeah. So we haven't talked about this. I feel like usually at this point when we talk about like our history with different TV shows or movies, I usually can tell what you are about to say because of knowing John didn't have cable growing up, so Nicktoons and stuff he didn't watch. But this is kind of something we don't really dive into much. But did you have a PlayStation 1?
No, my friend my young Chris friend. So pre-Chris.
I hate him already.
He was my Chris and John before you guys. He had PS1, and I'd go over to his house every day after school, elementary school. And that's how I played Tony Hawk, Crash, Crash Team Racing. So that's how I got into those games. I had a Sega Genesis until PS2. So nice. I only got to play 64 or PS1 if I went over to somebody else's house.
Okay. So you didn't play as much. Yeah, I'm the same way. So I never had a PlayStation 1. My parents didn't really believe in video game systems. They thought it'd affect my grades and I'd flunk out of elementary school. So
elementary school.
So only every once in a while. I don't know if you remember this, but Blockbuster used to rent you consoles that you can rent for a week.
I remember that a little bit.
Yeah, so if we had like really good grades, my parents sometimes would go out and like rent a console. So every once in a while we'd play games like this, but I was more of an N64 guy because of my like family and stuff who had an N64. So I didn't play as much either, but I did play the Insane Trilogy and beat the entire thing. And I thought it was incredible when it came out a couple years ago.
I'm still on Crash 1 on that.
Okay. It's platformer.
But I did play all 3 of those games, and I played Crash Team Racing. I love Crash Team Racing.
Yeah.
That's a super fun game.
So if you want me to go into a little bit of history, Justin has some fun facts about Crash.
Ooh, fun facts.
Yeah. So this game was the first 3 games, and we'll get into a little bit of a cart in a little bit, but the first 3 games were made by Naughty Dog, and this is kind of like their big claim to fame, but they actually made this. A lot of people think this is like the mascot for PlayStation, and that's kind of what it turned out to be with Spyro. But at first, that wasn't the intention. The intention was Naughty Dog was just making like a 3D game before PlayStation even was a thing. And they sold the rights to PlayStation after PlayStation became a thing. And they wanted to do a 3D game, but they didn't want to make it like a Super Mario 64 where it's kind of open world, you go wherever you want. They wanted to make it still a linear game with cool platforms, but just you're behind the person and not on the side of them. You know
it was pretty unique.
It's very unique. Yeah,
it was really cool how they did it, but it was tough.
Oh, this is a really hard game, and that's what I've heard about the newest game. Apparently, number 4 is very hard.
Yeah, I struggled a lot with these games when I was a kid, but I loved the games because I loved the little sound effects. Oh my god! Like, it was so fun.
Right.
I do remember those commercials though. Like when he did become kind of the mascot of PlayStation, because I think it was one where he was outside of Nintendo with a megaphone.
So he did that with Nintendo and Sega. He would go out and just like riff on them and like have with a megaphone. We'll put a copy in. We'll put a clip in.
Hey, plumber boy, mustache man, your worst nightmare has arrived.
Pack up your stuff. I got a little surprise for you here.
Check it out. What do you think about that? We got real-time, 3D, lush organic environments. How's that make you feel, buddy?
Feel a little like your days are numbered?
I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
You're hurting my elbow.
Is that Italian?
No, Bandicoot. It's an Australian name.
But yeah, he like made fun of Nintendo games. He made fun of Sony, like Sega games. Pretty genius. Like if you have a character like Sonic, who's like all about attitude in the 16-bit generation, to have someone like this in the 32-bit generation, like be a little more attitude, like making fun of the other consoles, pretty great.
Oh yeah, it was definitely an extension of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Instead of like because it was basically PlayStation, Nintendo at that point. Mm-hmm. Because Sega, man, the Dreamcast was great. It was a great little system, but Sega just pooped all over that thing.
So many things. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, and so, he kind of became, for a while, the mascot for the Sony PlayStation. And it's a good one to have, So it's kind of crazy. When you look at the old trilogy, like, the games got more and better reviewed. Like, those Naughty Dog games that came out, they really, like, pushed for quality and like wanted to improve on every single one, and it was kind of interesting. So I was reading about it, and they came out with the first 3 games, and then they had 1 game left, and they wanted to make a kart game. So they came out with Crash Team Racing, and it came out for N64. They're no longer tied to Sony, and that's a lot of people consider that like one of their favorite racing games, and it's pretty great.
Yeah, I mean that game kind of took Mario Kart. And I feel like it made it even crazier.
Yeah.
I think I feel like it pushed Nintendo to innovate Mario Kart a little more.
Yeah.
Because I think their next game was Double Dash on GameCube, and they had 2 people. So they had, I feel like they were almost competing with Crash Team Racing, unless I'm just like, overstating how popular that game was. I don't think it was. I am, because I knew a lot of people who played that. But no one was like, oh, this is better than Mario Kart. I always feel like those 2 games were the same but different in a few ways. Mario Kart was more, I feel like, random when it came to the power-ups and getting lucky. I feel like Crash Team Racing was a little bit more skill-based. and especially with the power-ups. I could be completely off, but that's how I feel.
No, I think you're right. I think people liked it because of the difference of it, you know. And honestly, apparently, I didn't know this, but if you went into a secret area in Crash Team Racing, you got to see a demo for the first Spyro game, which turned out to be another big hit for PlayStation, you know.
They love putting little demos in, like Uncharted 4.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the game, you played the first level of Crash.
Genius.
Which a lot of people were like, so are they remastering Crash? But I think it was like 3 years later. 4 years later that they actually released it.
Yeah. So, and I think you're right. I think that there's a certain, and that's kind of the problem, is that after Crash 3, and after the team kart game, they kind of started to try to follow Mario. And I think that was a big mistake they made. Because I think they went and they made a couple Game Boy Advance games that were very Mario. They made a Mario Party type game for Crash.
I don't remember those.
No, yeah, I know, right? Me either.
I
But I
really
think that's
made
the
them.
problem. Yeah, no, they did, and I think that's the problem. I think they tried to make it like Mario, but this wasn't supposed to be ever Mario. You know, it's a very distinct way of playing. And again, a lot of that's because the developer Naughty Dog was gone, and so they went about their own way. But yeah, I like these games a lot. I think these are really stellar games. If you haven't played the Insane Trilogy, again, there's no plug because this is a completely different developer. But go play it, because if you haven't played those and you want really hard 2D/3D platformers, these are the games you play. You know?
Oh yeah, and I'm looking at how many developers this thing had.
Oh, so many.
And it's just ridiculous.
So if you didn't know, Crash Bandicoot 4 has come out. It came out last Friday. This game is supposed to be a complete sequel to Crash Bandicoot 3. So they're kind of skipping 20 years of development and did their own thing. And I think it makes a lot of sense. You know, it's like movies are doing right now, the Terminator. They keep just forgetting these old movies exist and keep making sequels off Terminator 2. That's kind of what Crash is doing right now, right?
But in a good way.
In a good way, yeah. 3 successful games, and then you make a 4th one, and apparently it holds up. So the Crash Bandicoot 4 is on. It's About Time is on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. You want to hear a game synopsis, Justin?
All right, hit me.
All right. For a brand whomping new Crash Bandicoot game, crash forward into a time-shattering adventure with your favorite marsupials. Neo Cortex and N Trophy are back, at it again, and launching an all-out assault on not just this universe, but an entire multiverse. Crash and Coco are here to save the day by reuniting the 4 quantum masks and bending the rules of reality. New abilities? Check. More playable characters? Yep. Alternate dimensions? Obviously. Redonkulous bosses? For sure. Same awesome sauce? You bet your sweet jorts. I love that Crash wears jorts.
It's very 90s.
They haven't changed that at all, have they? Wait, are there actually jorts? Not in this universe. Apparently there's no jorts in this universe.
Oh.
He's got his normal shorts on.
All right.
But no, they have offline multiplayer, which is really cool. It's kind of a throwback also. So you can play 2 to 4 players. It's not online, which I think is honestly better. It uses the DualShock 4 vibration functions, enhanced gameplay for PlayStation 4 console, and offline play enabled, which is always good.
But yeah, I'm pretty excited for the game. Minus all the stuff before that we said about it being hard and things like that. I like a good challenge, and from what I've read, because we're doing this the day before it comes out, just as a heads up, so we haven't got to play the game yet. But from what I've read, it's supposed to be pretty difficult, longer than a lot of the Crash games as well. I think I read 12 to 15 hours of time without side quests and stuff, because I think the first couple of games, if you play them just straight through, I think it's only 6 or 7 hours.
Yeah.
But when this came out, I was really, really surprised they were making a Crash 4. Because, man, some of those games beforehand by those random developers were so shitty. I think they had an Engage game.
Yeah.
Do you remember the Engage? The Nokia game phone?
Oh, yeah, that was a thing.
It was bad. So, I'm really liking... I hope Spyro gets something pretty soon.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, if they can figure this out, I feel like all they have to know is they have to know how what the guys like what people want to see who played this game, and I feel like that's what they're doing with this. You know, Crash was a hard game. It's harder than Super Mario 64, but like that's what makes it good, and that's what makes it challenging for people. And so, I feel like to make a game that's completely like fun like that, I'm all for it. I'll probably get it for sure.
Oh yeah. At some point, I'm going to get it once I finish the other Crash games.
Right.
But
so if you okay,
go ahead.
So if you guys want this game, we have a couple free copies. So all you have to do is email us and just say like your favorite thing about Crash, and we'll select a random winner, and a couple of random winners will get a free game, a code to download to your PlayStation 4. So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's pretty cool that we got this. So, make sure you email in, and hopefully at some point we can get more stuff, be whatever it is, and we can actually give you all giveaways for once.
And I have one more thing I mean, honestly, yeah, for sure. I mean, we've talked about how we wanted to get to the point where we can give stuff away, and we're here. It's pretty exciting. So yeah, my last thing is I'm going to say crash forward into a time-shattering adventure complete with massive worlds, new powers, and more insanity.
I'm always a big fan of insanity.
All right. Well, yeah, we'll be back soon to actually talk about Survivor Season 1. I'm really excited, Justin. I've watched it. I don't remember this, but we have a lot of stuff to talk about because it's pretty cool. So
yeah, I'm pretty excited to share. There's like a whole like fandom page of Survivor, and it like tracks the voting, and it's really interesting. This was definitely I'm pretty sure it's not scripted, but it's definitely dramatized in a really good way.
Yeah, and I don't know if it was scripted at this point, but yeah, it was pretty crazy, and it really reflected on the time that this came out, and we'll talk about that when we talk about this. But yeah, I'm really excited about it. But we wanted to give you guys something, and if you guys have some free time, everybody's still quarantining a little bit, so if you want to play some Crash, be sure to email us at anothermanspod@gmail.com.
Yeah, seriously, if you want to email us, we're really excited to be able to do this, and hopefully it goes well and we get more. So yeah, you can. Can I bring us home? Can I do John's bit?
Oh, please do.
Tell me to bring it home.
Bring it home, Justin.
All right. So, like Chris said, you can email us at anothermanspod@anothermanspodgmail.com. We are on Twitter. We are on Twitch at allanothermanspod, I believe. We're also on Instagram.
Yeah.
And
TikTok.
And apparently what? Whatever.
I don't know.
So I'm assuming that's Another Man's Pod as well.
Yeah.
So go to can't talk. Go email us if you want the game. Check out our Twitter. Check out Facebook. All that kind of stuff. It's all Another Man's Pod.
Yep.
There you go.
There'll be promos on there for it also.
Yeah.
So. All right. Well, we'll see you next week, but we're excited to talk to you for this short episode. We'll see you next week with the Survivor Season 1.
Peace.